What up, everyone? It's Alicia here. We have something different for you today. Well, it's not different because we're talking about things I normally talk about when I'm streaming, but now I just decided to make a video about it. So this is the first part. I've divided the segment into two parts, and we're talking about human attributes, skin color, and also the workings of how police operate and why do they do the bad things they are doing. And this is all about that. But before we go any further, remember to subscribe. I upload daily content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like the video and comment down below what you think about my theory, why the police and the military are doing what they're doing. Let's continue. I like to talk about things, social things, politics, sports, a lot of different things. A lot of new subscribers probably know me from playing Battlefield or other games, but this channel originated from a place where I just wanted to talk about things that I feel that I have something to give. And this is one of them. So we were talking about social structures and racism and police officers. And well, I don't want to spoil the video for you. Nothing controversial. Nothing that's gonna like get me banned or anything. Or I hope so. Enjoy the video. Then there's the things that are actually problematic, which are, for example, the police officers in the United States. And, for example, the police officers in Africa, who are also discriminating for poor people, or minorities there. But I think that's more to do with people abusing power. He's just your average decent guy that can be an asshole from time to time. Yeah. Like, I think the problem with police officers in general is people, like humans, are tend to abuse power if we get power. If unchecked power, if nobody's checking behind your shoulder what you're doing with the power, people are more tend to abuse it. Do that make sense? Like, that's the reason why there's all around the world, police everywhere, even military everywhere, is abusing their power. But we are only talking about police officers abusing power to a certain shade of people, which is fucking dumb, because the problem is police officers and military abusing power everywhere. To all people. Yeah, they are targeting people with different shades than them in the United States. That's you can't deny that. They have prejudices against different shaded people. But immediately when you start to investigate South American police officers, South American military, African military, African police officers, Middle Eastern, Chinese, the fucking Chinese government, that will crumble your fucking argument that the police officers hate different, just this shade of people. It's all about humans abusing power. It's all about humans who by training got a certain amount of power and nobody's checking them at all if they do wrong things. That's the problem. And we all suffer from that. Not just certain shaded people. We all suffer from that. But we need to remember that in the Western society, 90 to 95% of the time, you don't even hear about what the police has done, the police officers are doing. Because if they're doing their job, if they're acting and not abusing their power, they're doing the job how they're supposed to do the job. And that's over 90% of the time. But there are a lot of cases in the last 10%, and they are fucking horrible. But that's the people who don't know how to control their power. And that's also people whose superiors don't want to regulate power. So it is it's not about different colored people. It's about people abusing power. And that power abusing is happening all around the world. Chinese government is one of the best examples of abusing power. They have fucking slaughtered Christians for years. Muslims. They have concentration camps for Muslims. Also, they have suppressed the Mongolian descent people in the northern territories in China. What about Taiwan? Hong Kong? You don't call them racist. You know why? Because they are just humans abusing power. And nobody's calling them out. That's why they're abusing the power. It's the exact same thing what is happening in the United States. But the reason why people aren't talking about it, it's because it doesn't create that much clicks. And also because Tencent and other big companies from China is funding a lot of news outlets in the United States. But the reason why that's happening is the same as it is in the United States. There are, of course, there are a lot of racist police officers in the United States. But they are racist towards people that don't have power. That's not one shade of color. That's a lot of shades. It's just they need to get their daily fix of abusing power. I'm not downplaying racism at all. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the police officers aren't doing all of these things all around the world because they are just racist. They are power-hungry people who doesn't have any parents supervising them. Or many times even the superiors are saying that that's a good thing you're doing. For example, in the Middle East. For example, in a lot of South American nations, where the government is actually saying to the police, you're doing a good job for kicking the smaller guys down. Military is another thing. People were very fucking quiet about the Taliban. You know why? Because they found out that people who are willing to abuse power often support each other. So when Hamas and Palestine said that they are supporting the new Taliban leaders in Afghanistan, it looked really bad. Because what the Taliban leaders were doing were killing teachers. Because teachers educate people. And educated people can be a threat to government. And to police, to the military. So they started killing teachers. Started abusing and mutilating and killing women who were educated, who were activists towards the new Taliban government. They started stoning gay people again. But people didn't talk about that. Why? The reason why they didn't talk about it is because they did the exact same fucking thing that Israelis are doing to the Palestine, and Palestine is supporting Talibans. And China is also supportive of Talibans. And also Russians are supporting of Talibans. So Russians are also supportive of Hamas and the Palestine. So there's a mixed bag of interests that are colliding. And that's the only thing that is power unchecked. That's why I recommend start using names of people, start treating people as human beings and with dignity and with kindness. You don't need to emphasize a person's attribute. If you do need to emphasize a person's attribute, then I think you are limited. Then you have ill intentions. Or then you're just trying to gain something.